Yeah, I know a lot of people may complain of lack of energy sometimes in this day and age. Sometimes I got these ebbs and flows where I got a lot of energy and then I have less energy. One thing I was experimenting with, and I kind of want to bring this up again because before I forget and everything. Now, I use the Bob Beck blood electrifier unit every day. And I usually use it set up wrist to wrist like this. There's like one electrode on each wrist. It's a stainless steel electrode wrapped in wet saline solution or wet tap water. So it conducts electricity from wrist to wrist through my body. I went over this stuff a bunch of times. And this is the unit. And like if you turn it, the red light on this, I like this unit. I don't know if it's available in the U.S. anymore, but it's available everywhere else globally except the USA. But if you turn it, you disconnect the wire here to this little contact I have on my wrist. Actually, you can see the light goes back on when I reconnect it, right? Disconnect it, the light's off. Connect it, the light's on, right? So it's actually it's conducting electricity wrist to wrist. Now, I don't know, some people say that's no good because it could possibly go near your heart, but I don't think so. I've been doing this for some years now at least, and I've not seen any. It's actually very, very, very low voltage. It's 0.19 milliamps, or 190 microamps, 190 millionths of an amp. It's like super, super low voltage. And it's something developed by Bob Beck. You can see these speeches he does and stuff, and he makes some exorbitant claims, in my opinion, about what it does, because he calls it a cure-all. But one observation I did that I made with this device, I was experimenting with it. I was using two devices, one ankle to ankle, like set up the same way on my wrist, and another set up wrist to wrist, for about 12 to 14 hours a day. And what I noticed was, now I just got to preface this because if you start out doing this, you start out slow. You start out with 10-minute sessions, then 15-minute sessions, then 20-minute sessions. You work up to it, the longer sessions, after a period of several weeks, maybe 3 or 4 weeks or more. Okay? Warning, because this thing actually does disable microbes, and if you kill too many I don't know if it kills microbes, but if it disables them and your body takes out the microbes, the dead microbes cause toxins to be in your body. You got to kind of work up to it. That's the theory. I think the theory is correct. But my observation is there's something else going on here. My energy levels went through the freaking roof when I was using like two devices, one ankle to ankle, one wrist to wrist, for about 12 to 14 hours a day. It went right through the roof. It wasn't something subjective. It wasn't something where it was a placebo, because I was like, no freaking way. Because I remember I'm out there mowing the lawn. I'm using a little hand mower, and it's like over half an acre. And I says, wow, I did all this stuff. I says, I don't know if I'm going to work out tonight. And I would go on a cardio elliptical machine for 3 hours straight from like about 11:30 at night to 2:30 in the morning after doing all this physical work during the day. And I was like, holy shit. And I says, well, maybe the next day I'm going to be too tired to do anything. No, another 3-hour workout. Now I'm doing about 100 minutes to 2 hours a day. That's pretty much what I do. And I backed off on that stuff. But when I was doing and I actually was doing 3 hours a day for some years, for a number of years, like cardiomaniac. But I noticed that when I was using this thing, I was using two of these for like half the day, my energy levels went through the roof. The real problem with this damn thing is how the hell do you wear it where it's not in your way? That's the problem. And I was thinking about maybe I could set up a weight belt or an elastic belt and maybe have the electrodes on each side of my waist and go through that way or something. I don't know how to do it, it's not too bad if you're sleeping with it, I don't like sleeping with two of these things. It's like you got wires everywhere I'm going, but I could do one, and my energy levels are good. But I've noticed that the actual testimonies from the Bob Beck blood electrification device, and I probably lost people on this if they're not familiar with it, they all say they feel better. or they got better or something. I think there's two things going on here. I think this thing does help assist the body to take out microbes in the blood only. It doesn't take them out of the stomach area too much because there's not a lot of, well, it doesn't take it out of the lymph system area. It doesn't take them out of like in the intestines, in the gut where a lot of disease is, because there's not a lot of blood flow there. Actually, that's the whole drawback of anything in medicine. Like, how do you get a medicine to where the disease actually is? 90%. This is actually per conventional doctors, or most of them. Most of it, like, maybe it's not 90%. Let's say the vast majority of disease and the vast majority of your immune system actually resides in your gut. Pretty much. The balance of flora and all this type of flora that's in there does have a lot to do with disease. So, like, when you're using this blood electrifier, it's not really getting in there too much at all. If maybe it's doing a real little bit, but it's not doing that much in that area. But I can't ignore, first, I've seen too many testimonies where people say they feel better, they got more energy, if they have this thing they call chronic fatigue syndrome, where they just feel tired, and they use the blood electrifier after working up to the lengthy times. It takes you several weeks maybe to work up to the lengthy times. If you try it too much right away, you will get overloaded with toxins. But if you work up to it, most everybody seems like they feel like they have more energy. I've noticed that when I use two blood electrifiers, two of them, for 12 to 15 hours a day, I had a lot more energy. The one thing that was aggravating me about the damn thing, though, was it's not that convenient. It's not that convenient. You got wires on you, man. I mean, it's like it just gets in your damn way. That's the problem with it. And I'm also using a Lukowski coil for. I backed off on that to a half an hour a day. I was using that up to an hour. I was using it an hour a day. I was like, this is taking too much time. I'm using it for 30 minutes a day now. But I felt that thing was giving me more energy. So, not only is nutrition and, maybe sunlight and things like that can give you better energy, but also these electrical devices. Now, there's one theory where I think this Bob Beck blood electrifier does give you more energy. It may also be because of the frequency that's used on it too. Some people say the frequency has nothing to do with it. It's only the electricity. It's only this. I don't know, because it's half the Schumann Earth frequency. Now, the Schumann Earth frequency, or Schumann Earth resonance, the main one is 7.83 hertz. The Bob Beck electrifier is 3.9 hertz. Now, this one has, it has 3.9, it has 10, and it has 40. I don't know, a lot of times they put it on 10, But I was using it on 3.9 hertz, two of those electrifiers, and I've noticed, and I'm not talking like subjective placebo, I just couldn't believe the stupid thing worked. I know it worked. Trouble is, it's damn inconvenient to use two blood electrifiers for 12 to 14 hours a day. But, if anybody devised a way to actually hook this damn thing up, or maybe make a belt or something I have some methods I can use with a belt. I don't like bothering with it because I'm constantly out and about, and it's like a pain in the neck to wear these damn things because they're kind of bulky. And even if you get the one with the two batteries set up, I got a little mini one that's no longer made by down there Bioelectric. I kind of like that one, to tell you the truth, best, because it's very small, But, maybe that would be the deal. But if there was a way to actually make these things even smaller with a little pouch or something that you can wear on a belt, and wear them 24 hours a day, or pretty close to 24 hours a day, with a little battery charging pack in it, I think that would really be worthwhile, because one common complaint people have is lack of energy. Now, the other theory behind why this thing brings up more energy is, now, I don't trust everything I see on the internet. I don't trust everything Bob Beck says. I know he's been to me, I pretty much proved that in my mind he's been an exaggerator, but he's not a total liar or nothing like that either, you know. But the thing is, the theory is also, besides bringing up the energy, why it brings up the energy levels is that it unclumps the red blood cells in the body. So therefore, it allows more ATP production, which is like in the mitochondria of the cells, to produce more energy in the energy sacs of the cells, because it unclumps the red blood cells. But I damn well know for absolute fact this stupid thing worked for energy. I don't know if it cures any kind of disease, or if it freaking gets rid of the common cold or cancer or anything. I don't freaking know. Some people say it does and all that type of stuff. But I have noticed that pretty much most of the testimonies out there say they feel better. And, if it's helping bring energy levels up and it's making the person feel better, usually that makes them, maybe the psychological factor is there then, and the person feels like they're getting better. They do get better by having a positive attitude. I don't really know what the deal is, but I do damn well know if you use two of these devices, which is a pain in the neck to do, because it's like you got to have them hooked up, with wires. If you use them for like 12 to 14 hours a day, after you work up to that long period of time, after several weeks, it does give you a hell of a lot more energy. I don't know why. I've read that, and I don't trust what I read, though, but I've read that I don't trust, because there's a lot of stuff, I try to separate what's fact from fiction. But I've read the reason why is that it helps with ATP production because it unclumps the red blood cells. I don't know if that's true or not, but I damn well know it freaking did improve my energy levels a lot. And I didn't believe it. I says, I'm going to be, I'm working out 3 hours a day now. I went up from about 2 hours to 3 hours, and 3 hours is no problem. And, now I'm not doing 3 hours a day now because I'm not doing this 12 to 14 hours a day. But I was. And then I was working out 3 hours a day. I says, well, maybe the next day, watch, I'll be too tired. Nope, 3 hours a day. Well, I'll be tired the next day. Nope, 3 hours a day. I'll be doing all this physical labor the next day, and I'll work out 3 hours a day. Yes, no problem. I started working out too late at night because I was busy during the day, and I says, I'll try to do somewhere. I'll try to do an hour. I did 3 hours. Just kept going like forget it. I got loads of energy. So I was 100% sure that it was because I was using two of these devices 12 to 14 hours a day. I don't know what the hell's going on here, though. I don't understand it. This may be why people say they have a problem, and I don't know, maybe it's bringing in more nutrition to the body faster. I don't know, maybe that's why you're getting better energy, because it allows more energy production to go on more efficiently. Maybe it allows nutrition to be uptaken into the body more efficiently, and maybe that's the body naturally fights things off. Maybe it's not exactly the electricity that is actually doing a job of stunning microbes so they can't reproduce, Actually, the patent behind this device is from Cayley and Lyman, which goes back to 1990, 1991, from the Albert Einstein College of Medicine in New York City. It was Dr. Cayley, Kaali, and Lyman, Lyman, who basically found a patent where they can stun microbes in a petri dish, and it causes them not to be able to replicate for maybe a period of time, for maybe 24 hours or something like that, which makes them immune, where they can't infect other cells and replicate. Basically, that's what it is, where they can't infect other cells, and makes them vulnerable to the immune system in the body, so the immune system then can attack them. So, that was the whole theory, but I don't know where, what I'm seeing is, and from what I've observed, is this damn thing is kind of like, it gives you energy after you work up That's an important consideration. You have to work up to the long, lengthy periods of time. It does give you energy. I don't know why. But I looked at it very, very, like, critically, and I says, I don't know, this is ridiculous. Because I remember, I was working out 3 hours a day, and then I was working out 2 hours a day. And I says I wanted to work out 3 hours a day. And when I started using two of these devices, I had plenty of energy to work out 3 hours a day. Again, trouble is I don't have enough time to do all this shit. That's the other thing. But, it does work for energy, giving you more energy. I don't know why. I know the theory is it's partly maybe the frequency, that it's half the human Earth frequency, and that is allowing you to be, I don't know, the human Earth frequency has a lot to do with, how well organisms work. When you're connected to the Earth, when you're standing on the beach, you get the Earth frequency that way naturally. It has to do with, I don't know, it's like the rhythm of life or something. I don't know what the hell it is, but it's not hocus pocus, pseudoscience. It's real, man. It's real. And by adding it electronically, which is half the human Earth frequency, I'd imagine the human Earth frequency itself would work too, probably to 7.83. It seems to give a hell of a lot of energy. And I'm not exactly sure why. I know I'll repeat it again. I know the theories is that it unclumps the red blood cells. That's what I've read. That's why. And it also helps improve the ATP production and stuff in the mitochondria, in the cells, individual cells. But when I read something and I have to test the theory, and I'm looking at it like it's BS. I didn't believe it. I thought it was just total BS. How's this stupid thing? I didn't expect it to give me more energy. It did. I know it did for a fact. Because I wasn't able to work out 3 hours a day, especially with if I started late at night after doing a bunch of physical labor, and it wasn't just one day. It was day in and day out, day in and day out. But I got sick of freaking wearing two of these devices for 12 to 14 hours. But the experiment proved to be correct. The big problem would be, how the hell could you wear something like this and, maybe have it integrated into your clothes or something like that, where you're actually hooked up to the electronic device, or it's hooked into your belt or something, where you can actually wear this all day. And it'll give people a lot more energy. I don't know why. Doesn't seem to be dangerous, because I've been doing this for years and I feel fine. So, just figured I'd pass this on because, most of the videos out there about the Bob Beck electrifying unit are from Bob Beck's speeches, which are, he exaggerates, and it's old stuff, you know what I mean? I'm telling you, I'm not freaking exaggerating here now at all, and I'm not selling this stuff. I don't sell this junk, okay? I don't make it. I don't do anything with it. I use it. I'm a confirmed believer that this stupid thing works. It does, I call it a stupid thing because it doesn't seem like it would work, but it does work. It does work. And, why it works exactly, it may not be exactly that patent they talked about in the Albert Einstein College of Medicine, is not probably the whole story behind what's going on here. It may have to do with the human Earth frequency itself. That was something that, Bob Beck decided to put into the unit when he made his thing. But it does give you damn good energy after you work up to it. So for some people that feel like they got no energy, it might be something you want to try. It's just that it's kind of a nuisance to be hooked up to this thing. But, if you're not doing anything at the time, you could be hooked up to this. You could be hooked up to this while you're sleeping or something. It's not a big problem, okay?